So Prestige was a brand that was born in France in 1989. It was originally a brand created by the Jeannot shipyard out of Les Herbiers, France. And about 10 years ago, Prestige started to, I would say, fly of its own wings. And we created a completely new set of boats, starting with the very famous Prestige 500. To sort of reposition the Prestige line as a luxury brand of power cruising boat. So Prestige has a lot of very distinct advantages, and I think the one thing that comes back the most often when you talk to owners or future owners of Prestige is how well we use the space inside the boat. So for all the accommodation inside the boat, we use every possible corner of the boat to make it a lot easier to move around than in most other brands. But also the use of space on, say, a 50-foot. Typically, our owners compare to boats that are 15 to 20 feet bigger. It's going great. So we started in the US in 2011, and I have to say I'm quite proud that we passed this month 500 units of Prestige yachts sold here in North America, so both in Canada and in the US. So it's been very, very successful. So we've been selling our entire lineup of boats from 42 feet all the way to 75 feet. And we're today here on a 68 foot, but every model in the line has been popular. So it's really interesting as well that it's been popular not just in Florida, like most people think about boating in Florida as being the key thing, but it's also been very popular in the Chesapeake Bay, up in the New England area, California, up in Quebec, the Pacific Northwest, the Gulf Coast, California. Everywhere we've had some great success with Prestige. Yeah, so we don't have a set customer type, I would say. We don't sell millions of Prestige every year. So every owner has a sort of a different background and a different reason for choosing Prestige. But I'd say the one common thread is probably that they are maybe not looking for the flashiest boat that's out in the market, but something that makes sense. Something that's going to be have really good fuel economy, and we have great fuel economy on the Prestige yachts thanks to our hull design. And also, like I was saying earlier, they look at what is the best use of space in a given length. And when we launched the Prestige 500 and we invented the concept of having a dedicated access to the master stateroom, that really took the market by storm, and the 500 became a reference. As a matter of fact, we've brought into North America almost 150 Prestige 500 since the beginning. So a big success, and so we're known for these two things. Then the other thing that I would say is the visibility from inside out. It's really wonderful as well. A lot of people see that the visibility is like no other boat. So we replaced the 500 this year with the new 520. And yes, it was by far the most successful model. So I think the 520 who replaced the 500 is going to have just as much of a success as the 500 did. There's a lot of really interesting things arriving. We will be announcing in just 2 weeks the full 2020 model year lineup. So we are just a little bit too early for me to be able to reveal it. But we have some really interesting things. New boat on the entry level for Prestige, and also a really interesting, completely new project for a new range of Prestige that we will be announcing in September.